Hi, welcome. This is Coco Scorpio TV. And at this channel, this is where I come and I talk about some of my favorite shows and give my commentary and opinion. And that can also extend to some hot topics. Okay? So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're joining me. I need you to do me a favor. Please hit like, subscribe, and I want you to comment and hype this video. Bitch, you can even dislike the video, okay? Just I would love for you just to interact and engage with this video. All right. So once again, I'm Coco. This is Coco Scorpio TV, and we are about to get into the episode. Warm welcome, Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 1. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we start the episode off with a little montage, and we end up with the Oakleys. Angela's there cooking on the grill, some hockey pucks, burgers, whatever you want to call them. And while we're here in this scene, Angela is letting us know she ain't shutting down a never rumor about Charles, okay? You say he's sleeping with the lady down the street, the candy lady. That's cool. He sleeps with pink rollers in his head. Girl, that's cool. I don't give a damn. Just don't come to me about it. So she's over that. All right, so we leave the Oakleys with Angela's request for her booty grab being denied by Charles. We go over to the other side of Atlanta, and we are now with Porsha. And Porsha goes and meets up with K. Michelle. And in this scene, we get her background, her journey with country music. And not only that, but she also touches on her relationships when it comes to the women in Atlanta and her time in Atlanta. She said it was a bunch of mean girls. And it brought a lot of trauma. If you watch Love and Hip Hop, then you know about her situation with Miss Baggs and the whole Memphis thing and an abuse and all that other stuff. So she has a chip on her shoulder. She said, every moment, that I have to prove these bitches wrong, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. So also in this scene, we have Porsha letting us know that she is now divorced and that she is ready to be adored. Okay, Porsha. Nobody really thought that she wasn't ready to go out to date. So we also get into her party, and she's saying who's going to be there, who all's going to be there. And of course, her ex-best friend is invited there. And also we touch on Drew. She says to Kay, and your favorite fellow singer is going to be there. And then that's when Kay kind of gets a little bit emotional, about the past and all that stuff, touching down with her relationships in Atlanta with the women. But, I also thought was interesting in this scene, we have her, because obviously it's a couples party. So she's talking about, she was like, you married? And Kay's like, yeah, I got married last week. Real quick, right down to Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, at City Hall. So I felt like she just got married real quick for the show. Like, I know she know dude and stuff like that, but I felt like she, because a couple weeks before the show. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay, so now we're over to Shamia's house, and apparently her and Kelly are bestest of friends, the capital B, the capital F of a best friend forever. And in this scene, I guess they're just, touching back bases. Apparently Shamia is a rum company. She owns a rum company. She said she wants to bring her own money and finance her own musical career. She doesn't want to keep taking from her husband. She wants to bring something to the table. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. So one thing I want to touch on in this scene was Kelly and Shamia and them gift baskets that Shamia was trying to get over to her. I know we all young and we do things and we're going to get into situations and stuff like that, even if you know better, right? But I don't need my friend making it easy, and just giving them, oh, you're going to drink it. No, we're not doing that. You're not giving my child. She's not even that. She's not 21. You're not giving my child any type of alcohol. Okay. And a pregnancy test for what? Condoms? Y'all tell me how y'all would have reacted if one of your friends go ahead and gave you and presented you a basket like that to your freshman child in college. Just let me know. Let me know down in the comments, okay? So we also get into the conversation of, Shamia being invited to go to the party that Porsha is throwing. And so that leads us to Shamia telling about how they left off after the reunion. And she said after reunion, she went back and watched it and she missed things that were said in real time. So she didn't get a chance. She didn't get a chance to address it. So she called her so she could address it. And that conversation went left, according to Shamia. And she said that the conversation went like this. All right, yeah. So that's the conversation that she said it had. It was not good. So she's like, I don't know about this party, how it's going to be between us. She comes with the energy. I'm gonna give her the energy. So that we can just fast forward over to the dinner. So it's the end of the dinner when Kelly asks Porsha, what's up with those text messages? And I was wondering the same thing because before Kelly asked that question, Porsha was like, oh no, we're fine. Things are cool between us. We left off, with some closure and whatnot. And Shimmy is like, yeah, we're cool. And I'm like, wait, hold on. So did the text message, was that closure? The text message? Because you said that's what you said. So why are you just sitting there like, yeah, yeah, yeah? So I'm trying to figure it out, along with Kelly, like what is up with those text messages? Portia said, well, whatever that conversation is, whatever's going on with that is going to be between me and Shamia, is not between y'all, but you need to worry about what you said. But I'm not going to address that right now because a good hostess will not do that at this moment. So, yeah. All right. So now we're down at if we're asking Porsha, it's the majestical party. Okay. The majestic party. She doesn't even know what type of party she's throwing. It is the mystic party. And I was just thinking about how last season, the first premiere event that we had was at Shamia in her house. And at this time, Porsha wasn't able to film in her home, but now we're able to do that for this season. First episode, first event is over to Porsha's home, ex-marital home. So yeah, I thought that was a little bit interesting. So this is the dinner party of the paid actors, of the men living in the phone. Okay? Because
is Jamal coming? No, of course not. Wow.
Cynthia showed up. I understand Cynthia because I think her man's like international DJ, something like that. So he travels a lot. So he wasn't able to make it. And Cynthia's a friend of. Okay. And then we have Drew coming in with her man in the phone. Okay. So at this point, everybody, is Jamal coming? You know? Um, and then the paid actors. We have Phaedra come in with her actor. He reprised his role as her man and it transferred over to Housewives of Atlanta. So that's another acting credit for him, I guess. This is just, and they were really good. It was going on Kenya. They was going on Kenya and Walter. All right, so we have Kate arriving through with her husband, uh, and she walks through. She say, "I hope they have meatballs." And so we go in there. We get a little bit of shade from Kate too. She was all like, this right here ain't nothing but a dressed up city hall." Mm-hmm. Very echoey. Hello, hello, Simon, Simon, Simon. Echoey. She said, "You need some furniture, honey." I thought that was funny though. I really did enjoy the kiki between Kay Michelle and Charles. I would love to see them like roast each other in a fun way, or roast together, roasting somebody else. Because I feel like they would light them up. But that would be a very fun session, I think. All right. So at this point, we have Porsha talking about her paid husband, and she's all like, "I don't know why I'm so nervous around you," right? And she goes in a confessional. She's like, "I ain't bring nobody around since Dennis, you know? So yeah, they haven't even met my last husband, Porsha. They met him, but he was somebody else's husband before you took him. Remember? Why you shout out to Rodney the Boys. You had went down to that lady's house and stole her man and her protege. You understand? So they met him back then. He was just Fallon's husband. All right, so now we get introduced to Pinky Cole, and they go through her backgrounds, her achievements, her accomplishments, do a little, yeah, background on her. And we also learn that she knows K. Michelle. They are sorority sisters. She also knows Phaedra. And apparently, her and Kelly has some type of, I don't know if we will call it a relationship, but they had interactions. I will say that. And Kelly says that she is not a girl's girl. I want to get into Pinky. We're going to get into Pinky in another video, because at first I was being very, very, very open about her, because I don't really don't know much about her. Her bankruptcy, I'm not going to let that define her personality for me as, a whole person. But I'm hearing other things, and I want to touch on that. I'm going to talk about that. But anyway, so yeah, we get our introduction to Pinky and whatever might be a thing between the two restaurant owners. Okay. All right. So I want to talk about Drew and this Shamia thing. And I feel like Drew was waiting for Shamia to come because she wanted to start with Shamia. That's how I feel. Because when they were sitting there and she's like, "Where's Shamia?" Portia's all, "I don't know, it's raining, girl, traffic and stuff like that." She was like, "Well, maybe it's raining over there because it stopped raining over here a little while ago. Maybe it's raining on that side of town, Oh, right?" So, and then Shamia finally comes 8 hours late, according to Charles, over there kicking with Michelle. And she comes in there, she strolled in there, and they're already in the middle of a game playing. When it's dinner time and the questions come, it's going to be messy, the thing. So they're already a little being halfway messy in the things. And then Shamia does get asked the question from Porsha. She says, "Is there anything that you would like to upgrade? Take from your old one to bring to your new one?" And she was like, "Absolutely not. There's not a thing." And then we have Drew over there. "Wait, where's your husband? Where's your husband?" And she was like, "The same reason why your man over there on the phone." She was like, "Oh, so he's traveling?" She's like, "Yeah, good guess. Good guess." "Oh, he's traveling. Oh, okay, that's your answer." Shamia was like, "Well, you asked, so I answered." She's like, "Oh, okay." You just seem a little bothered. She was like, "Bothered? I just answered the question." So they're going back and forth, and they're doing their little thing. And Shamia's like, girl, just concentrate on your Zoom call. And she was like, well, your man's not here. You can call him. You got him on the phone. She was like, yeah, but your man, where'd you concentrate on your husband? Wait, your husband? Well, your husband underneath the stairs, and the other one, he in your phone. So maybe focus on that. Um, so yeah, I do feel like Drew was waiting for Shamia to come so she can stop her. And another thing, like Cynthia said, we know Drew, what's his name? Gerald was not coming. I could have told you when they did the flashback and she showed him the phone. So, oh yeah, this is the invite, and he started and I will let you know. I will get back to you. Eh? So, and then when he called, like, it's the timing of the call. They was dressing ready to go out the damn door. Gerald was upstairs somewhere. Maybe he was in the basement. I don't know. But he already knew he wasn't coming. Because then he called, we were rerouted back to North Carolina. I won't be able to make it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Girl, we knew he was not coming. Cynthia said we expected him not to come. Shamir knew he was coming. You should have known he wasn't coming, Drew. He wasn't. Okay, real quick, let's touch on Porsha's timeline. Because her sister, yeah, can we get a timeline? She's like, oh, wow, man. So we met after C19 or whatever. And the people were in the confessional like, wait, hold on. Hold on. Weren't you somebody's husband at that time? Weren't you busy doing something else? And then she just, her and all her teeth just, yeah, about that long. And then also, somebody asked Pinky later on, she says, when was the last time y'all were intimate? Porsha look at him. He looking at her. He just eating. He's like, I don't know. What you gonna say? It's your show. And then she's like, 9 months. That's what she says, right? And then at unison, they say 9 months. She was like, yeah. He was like, basically, she nailed and bailed or whatever. But we all know what it is. We all know what it is with the situation. All right, so we have Kate Michelle. She's still making me laugh. She over there. She in the confessional. She said, Shamaya got a mohawk, a new body. I don't know why this Drew lady got this man in the phone sitting there. He got a whole ring light production. And there's this, who is this lady with this white wig playing violin? There's some Tyler Perry shit. Because yes, it was. There was a lot of different little things going on. But it was funny. I miss K Michelle on my television. Real quick. They just be saying dumb shit. Like when they was talking, like Shamia's body, she got some work done, but she looked good. She looked good, like a little chocolate Barbie doll. She looked good. But Phaedra's all like, well, she come through. She got a new body. Some people can't afford it. You can afford to pay for it. You can't. Just inject it, I guess. Bitch, what is you talking about? What you be talking about, Phaedra? What? Also, Drew continues to be Delulu, and she continues with her lies. Whoever this black guy is, girl, whatever, is a lie. And then he's sitting here in the land of Delulu trying to act like he don't know the King show scene. Okay. I mean, I don't dislike Drew. I don't really dislike anybody, honestly. I feel like everybody's personality, everybody's energy plays a certain part, or whatever. So I try to be like that. You know what I mean? So I would just be taking Drew with a grain of salt. I just be like, oh, you smiling out. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to everybody I may have offended. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm sorry for. But I'm from Decatur, bitch. And I come to say that I'm sorry. What am I sorry for? I don't know, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. And once again, we have Phaedra lying. Phaedra's lying again. So Angela confronts her about the tapes because Shamia tried to tell her about how Drew went to Phaedra and was saying something about the receipts. And then Drew was like, yeah, I already had this conversation with her. She already knows. So you ain't spilling no tea. Your cup is still full. Okay. And then we go over to Angela. She said, I don't care about that. Let's talk about how you had somebody come up to me, whether they told you or not, they came up to me and they say they blah blah blah, and we the one with the hands, right? And then Phaedra was like, that never happened. She said that never happened. They can go run it. Matter of fact, I got the tapes. Yeah, bitch, I got the tapes. And I'd be glad to show you. They ain't nobody ever come up to you or whatever she said, right? So basically denying it because she said she got the tapes. Fast forward, confessional. Angela's like, girl, I will help you get the tapes. I ain't seen them yet, but if she needs to, I'm willing to do whatever I can to help her get these tapes, right? And then we go over to Phaedra. Phaedra is like, producer said, hey, do you actually have the tapes? Phaedra's like, have? No, I don't have the tapes. Did you see it? No, I didn't actually see the tapes. I just request for him to pull the tapes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And lastly, we have the scene with Porsha's man closing it out at that house as if he lives there, as if he's paying mortgage. This is my solo. Tyler Perry, catch this. I want to thank everyone for coming out to Porsha's home to spend the evening with us. It was so tantalizing. And I would love to do it again. Black. Everything black, all black. Black. Thank you all. Please, please leave. See your way out. Thank you. Oh my goodness. All right. So this is my first video on my channel. And if you made it through to here, I thank you so much for giving me a chance. Truly, seriously, I do, and I greatly appreciate that. Please do me a favor, tune in again, subscribe, like, comment. If you have any positive, constructive criticisms to give back to me, I should have some type of way for you to let me know that. You can let me know in the comments or hit me up on the email. All right. But let me know what y'all think about this episode. We're gonna touch on some other things in another video. What do you think about Pinky? What do you think about K Michelle? What do you think about the tension between the ladies? What do you think about the fashions? What do you think this season is going to bring? What are your predictions? Let me know. Get down in the comments. All right. And remember, this is Coco Scorpio TV. All right. See you later.